Okay, this is going to be a quick and dirty episode. You know how we do around here because I have something to say about this, but it's going to be a quickie. So, I'm sure if you are somebody who is working on getting pregnant, you're working on boosting your fertility, whether you've been trying for a while or you're preparing, like whatever it is, you have heard to drink pomegranate juice. Like, okay, pomegranate juice is going to help boost your fertility. Like, I just saw on TikTok because I actually like very rarely scroll over there. I like normally scroll more so on Instagram. TikTok's just a little bit wild over there for me, but I post on there and I have just my biggest platform other than the podcast. Anyway, so I go on to post and a reel came, or not a reel, a TikTok came up and it was like, me chugging pomegranate juice, not me, like the reel said, point of view, I'm chugging pomegranate juice because I'm trying to get pregnant. And I'm like, okay, we need to do an episode on this because you drinking pomegranate juice is 100% not supporting your fertility. Like let's just call it what it is. It is not rooted in like deep science that is what's going to help you get pregnant. And I know that the reason why you're doing it is because you're like, well, I'll do anything. Like literally just tell me what to try and I'm going to try it, which is why you've tried drinking pomegranate juice. You've probably tried the Mucinex theory or Vitex or something we call it chasteberry. It's the same thing. B6 for low progesterone, wild yam cream. You've tried the fertility lubes, the fertility teas. You've tried all this shit, CoQ10, like all of it. And it's not working because that's not actually getting down to the root cause of the problem. Like drinking pomegranate juice could actually be making your fertility worse because I just looked it up too. Because I'm like, I actually don't know how much sugar is in it because I've never really drank in it, but it's juice, right? It's juice. Whenever you're juicing something, like you're juicing a fruit, it strips all the fiber out of it. So it's literally just sugar water is what you're drinking. The reason why people say to drink it for fertility is because it has a lot of antioxidants, which helps, your egg quality. It could support ovulation. It could support men's sperm quality, antioxidants in general. But there are actual whole foods that you can get from, like strawberries and blueberries and dark leafy greens, like actual whole food based sources of antioxidants, as well as like in your prenatal and stuff like that, that's going to be way more supportive for you than just drinking pomegranate juice, especially because a lot of people will just drink it in the morning or drink it like mid-afternoon or whatever. And this is spiking the shit out of your blood sugar. And that is actually negatively impacting your fertility. By the way, we're getting work done right now in our basement and like I could hear it. I don't know if you can. We had like a washer machine issue. So they had to put like a sump pump in. It's this whole thing. But anyway, if you hear drilling, that's what's going on. I'm not sure if you can or not. But anyway, so this can actually be negatively impacting your fertility because it's spiking your blood sugar. Again, especially if you're having it on an empty stomach, you're not having it with a meal. Even honestly, if you're having it after a meal, it's still a ton of sugar. I was looking it up because I'm like, how much sugar is actually in it? And the one I looked up that it's at Target that probably a lot of people get, the Palm brand or whatever, is 34 grams of sugar. And there's 2 servings per container. So in 4 ounces, it's 34 grams of sugar. 4 grams of sugar equals 1 teaspoon. Let's do the math on that because I actually can't do that. In my head, 34 divided by 4 is what? That's 8.5 teaspoons of sugar in just 4 fluid ounces that you are consuming. And yes, obviously it's different than just like, like sugar from like a Skittle or whatever, but it's still sugar. And that is going to act the same in your body when it comes to your blood sugar. So you drinking even just 4 fluid ounces of pomegranate juice, thinking it's going to help your fertility, is actually negatively impacting your blood sugar. So I want you to stop buying the pomegranate juice and just actually do this instead, because that's what's actually going to support you, is focusing on your blood sugar, focusing on getting nutrient density in your foods and antioxidant rich foods within your meals that are going to support your egg quality, your ovulation, all of that way more than a pomegranate juice actually is. So if you've been waking up in the morning and you're having your pomegranate juice, or maybe even putting it in your smoothie, right? That at least if you're putting it in your smoothie, you hopefully have in your smoothie healthy fats and protein and fiber to help slow down the absorption of the sugar. But it's still a ton of sugar that can still impact your blood sugar, especially if you're somebody who has PCOS, where you naturally have insulin resistance and you need to be a lot more careful about it. So this is just something that I'm like, I'd never tell my clients to do that. Actually, a lot of times I'll be like, just please stop doing this because it's just not going to get you where you want to go. And it's actually slowing down your progress. So stop wasting your money on pomegranate juice. and instead focus on blood sugar regulated meals, which if you've been here for a hot second, you already know protein, fiber, healthy fat with every single meal. I'll have a free training on it. I'll put it in the show notes in case you haven't gotten it or downloaded it yet. And also, like, aside from that, really focusing on, again, nutrient density. A lot of times I'll look at, some clients' food journals. I was actually going over one this morning, and it's a lot of like cheese, meat type of heavy meals, because a lot of, people are talking about, which I actually recently did a podcast episode on this too, like how much protein you need to be getting. So it's like cottage cheese and everything, meat, turkey, like all this shit in every single thing that you're eating. And you're forgetting about the importance of vegetables and, like quinoa and grains and things like that, that are nutrient dense, that we actually need to be consuming. Like we can't just be focusing on protein. Focusing on minerals and vitamins in your and micronutrients in your foods is so important for your egg quality. It's so important for your ovulation, and you don't need a pomegranate juice to do that. Like we shouldn't be focusing on that. So you need to be focusing on root cause healing and nutrient density. So how can you add in more dark leafy greens, organic, obviously, more vegetables into your diet today, obviously with a protein and a healthy fat combination like we just talked about, and beans. Beans are such an incredible source of fiber, of protein, of minerals, of micronutrients, of iron, of all these things that we need for our health. It's like, can you even just swap out one of your meat meals with some beans in there? And that's going to be 10 times more supportive for your fertility than drinking this pomegranate juice. Like it truly is. So please stop thinking you need to do that. And it's gonna maybe take some time to like get used to this idea of like, oh wait, I don't actually, like, I shouldn't be doing this. And I also don't want you to think like, oh my God, I've been making it worse and it's my fault now that I'm not pregnant because I've been chugging pomegranate juice. It's like, no, it's not your fault. You've probably seen all over TikTok, all over Instagram, just drink this pomegranate juice, but it is not going to help you. Okay. So download that free training, how to create hormonal blood sugar balanced meals, get rid of the pomegranate juice. We don't need to do that. Have just like fertility boosting foods in general, right? It's like have blueberries, fertility boosting foods, organ meats, pomegranate juice. It's like, okay, well, again, even with the blueberries, are we just having a bowl of blueberries? Because again, that's going to spike our blood sugar. We need to make sure we have protein and a healthy fat with it to support our blood sugar. So it's not just about the actual foods that you're eating. It's about how you're eating these foods and when you're eating these foods. Again, if you're like starting your day with this pomegranate juice 2.5 hours after you wake up, wow, did you just fuck up your blood sugar? Wow, did that impact your ovulation, your moods, your energy levels, your cycle regularity, your PMS levels, like all of that. So we have to be really like just taking a step back and going back to the foundations of like, what are the things that I'm doing right now? Because your algorithm on TikTok or Instagram, which maybe helped you find me, which I'm so grateful for, but in general, is just feeding you with all this fertility information that is super, super, super overwhelming because you just keep trying so many different things. You can't even remember what your own intuition is telling you what to do because you're just bogged down by, okay, I'm doing the pomegranate juice, I'm going to do the tea, I'm going to do the liver detox supplement, I'm going to do the CoQ10, I'm going to do the Vitex, and you're trying so much stuff. You're not even being consistent with the things that actually matter. Are you even having enough water throughout the day? Are you going longer than 4 hours between your meals? Are you skipping meals in general? Are you actually eating within 60 to 90 minutes of waking up? Or are you waiting to eat till 3+ hours after you wake up? Like, are you having a bunch of coffee throughout the day? Are you even focusing on the quality of your food, making sure that it's majority organic? Like, what about the toxins that you're surrounding yourself with? Are you filtering your water? Are you making sure the products that you're using are as non-toxic as possible? Like, yes, these things could be overwhelming if you haven't started with that, but it's like, that's what we need to be focusing on. We don't need to be focusing on these teas, these lubes, these pomegranate juices, the Mucinex theory, all this shit that you keep trying, that you're losing sight of what actually matters because you're so distracted and overwhelmed with all this information that's coming at you that is not helping, and it's also dysregulating you. It is dysregulating your blood sugar, obviously, but it's dysregulating your nervous system because you're just like, okay, what else can I try? What else can I try? This isn't working. I've been doing the pomegranate juice for 2 months. I'm still not pregnant. Okay, I try this. Oh, I'm still not pregnant. What can I try next? And you're like a ping pong ball, like bing, 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 like bouncing all over the place. And you're just like, whoa, can we just chill the fuck out and go back to the foundations of what actually matters and tune into yourself? Are we meditating? Are you taking time to actually listen to yourself and trust your intuition of what your next best step actually is? Is your next best step buying another supplement that you don't know if it's going to support you? Is your next best step chugging this pomegranate juice, or buying another fertility, or putting your legs up the wall after you have sex, or doing a specific position that's going to help you get pregnant better? It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? We have to focus on the foundations of what actually supports every single system in our body that affects our hormones, and that boost of fertility becomes a natural byproduct. So like, get still, tune into yourself, and just like block the noise out for a little bit. Even if that means like not scrolling for a few days, like taking like even just a 3-day hiatus of like, I am not watching anybody's stories. I'm not watching any Instagram, TikTok, anything for 3 days, just so I could like take a breath, take a beat of like, damn, like I just need a second to realize what I actually think is best for me and what I actually think is going to be the next best step on your fertility journey. And maybe that means hiring somebody, purchasing a course, going to a naturopathic doctor, getting some testing done, or slowing down, like whatever it is. But you won't know what your next best step is if you're constantly searching for the next reel to tell you what to do, or the next thing that you need to try because you've heard that it works, when it's really not actually doing what's going to support your fertility long term, or your mental health and your nervous system regulation long term. So that is my spiel for today. I love you. Thank you as always for being here. The hormone balanced meal training is in the show notes, but I touched on earlier. I also have, I talked about products, I have a free product recommendations guide if you're like looking to switch over your products, which again, these things are 20 million times more beneficial than just chugging pomegranate juice. So I'll put those in the show notes for you as well. And then obviously if you're like, you want some more concrete information, you're done spinning your wheels and figuring out, okay, what am I doing next? And like, again, bopping all over the place like a ping pong ball. The Mind Your Hormones method is always, always, always available for you. So you can just have a step-by-step roadmap in front of you. You don't have to be on TikTok and Instagram all night searching for the next best thing. You just have a literal plan laid out in front of you, proven, simple, effective, so you know exactly what to do next. I'll always have that in the show notes for you, always, always, and always. Code podcast saves you 10% on that too. So I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Please share this with someone who is trying to conceive so they can stop chugging 34 grams of sugar and thinking that it's supporting their fertility. Okay? I love you. I'll talk to you in the next episode. Thank you so much for being here. If you loved this episode and learned something valuable, please share it with a friend who you think would also love it, or post it on social media and tag me so I could personally say thank you for helping me spread this important message. I am beyond grateful to be here with you. So until next time, stay intentional, stay consistent, and always mind your hormones.